Oh my. So I just got done watching the Better Call Saul Season 6 Episode 13 finale, Saul Gone, and that episode was so good. These are my immediate reactions, so I don't have everything all planned out up here. I only was able to take, if you look at this, I was only able to take literally one note, and I don't know if my camera's going to focus. I said, Better Call Saul finale thoughts. Amazing parallel in the time machine. And that was right in the beginning when we were watching Mike and Jimmy in the desert. And then I was just so hooked. And the funny thing is, I was watching this with my dad, and both of us were saying, even from that very moment, I don't want this to end. Not because we were upset that it was the ending, but because it was so good. That episode kept us on the edge of our seats. And I just did a live stream giving my immediate reaction. So if you want to check that out, that's in the description. That's also on my channel. However, I noticed there was a big time echo on the entire stream. So there's 29 minutes pretty much down the drain with a reaction of me just talking with an echo. Anyway, so let's jump right in. The episode starts with Jimmy and Mike in the desert, back to the Bagman episode, where somehow they magically find a well, and in the well, Jimmy's drinking. He removes his cup of urine and decides to continue to drink out of it because he was so thirsty. And then him and Mike start talking about, if you had a time machine, where would you go back to? Now, of course, Mike has his actual regrets that he talks about. And then Jimmy is just like, I would have bought Berkshire Hathaway. Like, it's just really funny to see that parallel, and that really set the tone for the whole episode. Especially when it comes to talking about a time machine. This will wrap up in the end when we talk about Chuck a little bit more, but you see in the episode the two of them having this parallel theme about time machines, and Jimmy in the past has referenced the H.G. Wells book, The Time Machine, which Chuck puts down in his last shot of the show. My God, I cannot talk about enough how fantastic of an episode this was. I'm going to do a more in-depth breakdown of it later where I talk about the series overall, but for now these are just immediate reactions on an actual recording instead of an OBS where there was a mega echo. I gotta fix that. So yeah, I mean, really, what is there to say? There is so much here. We all knew Jimmy was going to go to jail. There was no secret about it. We knew that's exactly how this was going to end once he got caught. This is a show about law and order. It was bound to happen that he was going to go to prison. But to see him give in, and I saw this amazing comment on Reddit. I wish I could find the user. Hopefully I can if I edit this. I might not even edit it. But anyway, I found this fantastic comment where it said, Saul won by getting 7 years, but Jimmy won by finally admitting who he really was. And obviously, at the end of the show, you realize that Jimmy didn't go in for 7 years. He went in for 86, I think it is, which is fine because Saul won his 7, and then Jimmy won redeeming himself. And then to see at the end that Kim and Jimmy end on mutually assured respect, I guess is the word I was looking for there. It was just fantastic. I mean, it was... I'm just blown away because you look at other shows, right? You look at Game of Thrones, you look at Ozark, you look at Stranger Things, which I guess is getting a 5th season, so maybe that doesn't count. But you look at other things like Boardwalk Empire, even Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, yada, yada, yada. All the endings, except Breaking Bad's because that was good, all the endings were pretty bad because it's very hard to wrap up a show. So to see this one nail it so unbelievably perfect and so ground in who these characters really are, I'm just absolutely blown away. They wrapped up everything. I mean, the only thing I could think, and I said this in my live stream, but the only thing that I could think that they didn't wrap up as best as I wish they did was I feel like there was a little bit, just a very tiny bit more story to tell between Mike and Gus and Jimmy and how they came together. I mean, obviously something has to happen behind the scenes that ties them even further other than the Howard Hamlin stuff that happened. But I guess it's not that big of a deal realistically, because you could suspend a little bit of disbelief for something like that, so I'm not going to harp over that. But really, everything else was wrapped up like a bow. The cameos in this, forgot, Marie Schrader is back in this episode. That was like the biggest plot twist ever. I was screaming at the TV when I saw that. I was absolutely blown away by that cameo, and just blown away by all of them in general. Chuck's was great. Walter's was great, and I'm glad in our predictions video, a lot of us, not a lot of us because there was no one in the stream, but the people on Reddit were predicting that maybe Chuck would come back, and I was talking about that as well, and I'm so glad that that got to happen because it was done so well. The execution was perfect, and I think that's really the whole point of this review / reaction is the episode was perfect. It was just straight up perfect, and such a great way to wrap up a perfect series. It has definitively solidified itself as #1 for me, the best show I've ever seen on planet Earth. Bob Odenkirk killed it. Ray Seahorn killed it. Vince Gilligan killed it. Peter Gould killed it. Even Peter DeSeth, who plays Will Oakley, killed it. Everyone, even Marie, Betsy Brand, who hasn't been in the series in forever, killed it. Chuck killed it. I forget his actor's name. Man, I'm blown away and I'm left for words. So I think I'm kind of going to wrap this up relatively quickly, because if you want to watch more of an in-depth breakdown where I talk about people's posts on Reddit, on the subreddit, to the live reactions, as well as a more definite, immediate reaction, feel free to go watch the live stream I did. Mind you, there is a little bit of an echo, but if you're okay with that, it's not horrible. I think I'm going to leave this one at that, though. I'm going to digest this a little bit, rewatch the episode, and come back with a more in-depth breakdown of it. But wow. I mean, talk about a perfect way to end a perfect show. Couldn't be any happier, but also couldn't be any sadder that it's over, because I did not want it to end. Like, at all. That was just way too good. Man, yeah. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. If you want to see a more in-depth breakdown, it's on the channel right now, and it's in the link below. Like this video if you liked this, and subscribe if you haven't already. I can't promise I'm going to do TV show reviews all the time, but I will be doing vlogs, just whatever I want to talk about, and I'll definitely be breaking down more Better Call Saul in the future. So with that out of the way, thank you so much for coming out to this, and I'll see you in the next one.